And welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a talk through tutorial with you guys on my everyday foundation routine. This has actually been the most requested video from my friends and family. They actually wanted to see a tutorial from beginning to end for an everyday makeup look that they can do, whether if they're going to school or work or wherever it is they are going. They wanted a step-by-step tutorial with techniques that I use, products that I use. So I decided to film it. This is actually my third time attempting this video. My first time I did it, I wasn't happy with the outcome. I just felt that it was a bit too lengthy. I literally did it from beginning to end. So I started with the products that I use to prep my face. I did my foundation routine, highlight, contour. I did an everyday eye look that's so simple, and then I transformed that eye look into 2 additional eye looks, which was totally it was totally easy. It was so cool. However, it got too lengthy for me. I wasn't happy with the outcome. I wanted to give you guys as much information as possible without making the video super lengthy. So I decided to refilm it for the second time. That was a couple days ago. And I was so happy with the way I was filming. Everything was going so great. I finished it. I decided that I wanted to do 2 videos instead of 1, where I separated it. So I was gonna do an everyday foundation routine and then another video with an everyday eye look that I transformed into 2 other eye looks. So I did that and I was so happy. And then when I looked back at the content, I noticed that my mic wasn't recording, and so none of the voice recorded. I was so upset. But third time's a charm, so I'm gonna do this again and I'm gonna get it right, and we're gonna do this, and you guys are gonna learn how to do an everyday foundation look. That's my goal. So let's get started. The first thing I usually do is I apply my face moisturizer, and the face moisturizer I use is the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion. This one's almost done. I just had this sitting on my vanity. I normally put this on my face right after I get out of the shower in the morning. If I don't, my face gets so dry, especially in the winter months, so I have to use a face moisturizer. The next step that I'm going to do is I'm gonna apply some serum on my face, and the serum that I'm using is the Farsali Unicorn Essence Skin Enhancing Antioxidant Serum. And this is the unicorn tears that everyone's talking about, if you didn't know. There we go. So that's what it looks like. You can totally skip this step if you'd like. You don't necessarily have to apply a serum. I like applying it because it adds extra hydration. I love how it looks under my skin. I love how it smells as well. It has like this Fruit Loop kind of smell. I love Fruit Loops, so this scent definitely attracted me towards it. So what I did was I just put a couple of drops on my face, and I'm actually going to zoom you guys in so you can see this a bit better. I'm going to go a little lower. Can I? No, I can't go lower. So anyways, I'm just smoothing this into my face, making sure that it's getting absorbed very well. Bring it down my neck. There, I think this is a good medium. I'll try to come up a little bit. Okay, so I have my skin serum on. The next product I'm gonna use is my Too Faced Hangover Replenishing Face Primer. This is what it looks like. And this product is infused with coconut water. It has probiotic based ingredients and skin revivers. So it's also silicone free, so it doesn't give you that like thick sticky feeling that some primers give you. And why I'm adding this primer is because I just want that extra hydration. And this is my second time purchasing this primer. The first time I purchased it was when it just came out, and I fell in love with it. But of course I wanted to venture into other primers, but I quickly found my way back to this one, which is pretty cool. And the fact that it has coconut water in it, and my cultural background, my parents actually used coconuts for everything. They cooked with it, they drank the water, they ate the jelly, they made oil out of it, they put the oil in their hair. Like I said, they cooked with it. So there's just so many benefits to coconuts, and that's what really attracted me towards this primer, and I love it. And it also smells amazing. It smells like coconuts. So yeah. The next product I'm going to use is my eye cream, and this is the Burt's Bees Intense Hydration Eye Cream. This is another product that I've been using for so many years. I've tried so many other eye creams, expensive ones, cheaper ones. I went to Sephora. I used to get so many samples because I just wanted to find the perfect eye cream. My eyes are super dry underneath, so when I apply concealers, they tend to crease and settle in my fine lines. Sometimes it crusts. It's really, I need an eye cream when I'm using my makeup. So yeah. So what I did was I just applied a little bit under my eyes and I smoothed it out with my ring finger. The reason why I use my ring finger is because it is going to give me the most gentle touch rather than my other fingers. This finger won't give me too much pressure under my eyes. It gives me just the right amount of pressure. And I'm actually just feeling that I need a little bit more on this eye. So I'm just gonna apply some more. And you know your skin. So you're gonna know if you need extra hydration. If you feel that your skin is just, your makeup's not sitting on your face while it's crusting, it's flaking, you know that you need to hydrate your skin a bit more. Another thing that I do is drink lots of water. Drinking lots of water helps your skin look hydrated as well. It helps your skin, you just feel a lot better when your skin's hydrated, and your makeup sits so much better when it's hydrated as well. Anyway, so I have my eye cream on. Serum eye cream primer. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start to color correct my face, and maybe I'll zoom you guys in a little bit more while color correcting. The product that I'm using to color correct is the Vasanti Liquid Cover Up Foundation and Concealer in one. This is in the color 02. This is what the tube looks like, and it is a tube. It's soft. Sometimes I like to shake the product. Sometimes I like to kind of work it in just to make sure that none of the oils in the product or the ingredients in the product have settled. So the applicator looks like this. It's a little brush, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start applying that on any areas that I feel need to be corrected, any dark areas of my face. So I'm going to start off by applying this around my eyes here, and I usually get dark in this little groove, so I'm going to be sure to apply a generous amount there, and I'm just bringing it down like that. I'm going to do the same thing to the other eye. I also get very dark in my hormonal areas. I am a brown girl. We do have darkness around our lips here normally, so I'm going to apply some there. On our chin, pretty much this entire area for a lot of brown girls is hormonal. And that's why I love this cover up so well. Or I should say I love this cover up so much because it just helps it helps correct darkness, but it's not too orange in the sense where if I blend it out and I put my foundation over it, that it's gonna have this like orange hue underneath. It really melts into your skin. It blends really well into your skin, and that's what I love about it most. I'm gonna apply a little bit on my upper lip. And you don't have to be neat with this because you're literally gonna blend it out. The brush I'm gonna use to blend it out is my Morphe M428 brush. And it's just a dual microfiber brush. Looks like that. I'm gonna start with my eyes and I'm just gonna pat the product in. And I don't want to rub the product off. I want to pat it so it presses into my skin rather than just pushing it and moving it around. And you don't have to be neat with this because we're going to be applying foundation right over it. I just want to make sure I'm blending out any harsh lines.
I'm pushing it around my nose as well because sometimes I get red. That's another hormonal area as well. So I'm gonna problems, guys.
Okay, so I blended that product out as much as I could with my concealer brush. I'm just gonna take a dry beauty blender and I'm just gonna lightly pat it around any areas that I applied the corrector just to get any harsh lines out. I'm not going to do it too much though, because again, I'm going to apply my foundation and the foundation is literally going to cover it up. Also, a lot of people ask me why I use a dry beauty blender versus a wet beauty blender. I like using a dry beauty blender because I feel like I get more control over the way I'm blending. I don't necessarily use it to apply the foundation. So they do say that dry beauty blenders absorb more product, so you lose more product. I'm literally just using it to blend any harsh lines out on my face. You can definitely go ahead and wet your beauty blender. Just make sure you squeeze all of the excess off. Yeah, I use a dry beauty blender. You can totally use a wet one. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my foundation, and the foundation brand that I use is Nars. I use their Share Glow. I am in two colors. I am in the color Syracuse, which is a medium dark color. I just find that the Syracuse is a bit too dark for my face, especially in the winter. The second color I use is Stromboli, which if I were to use by itself, it would be super light. So I combine them both together and I get my perfect shade. And you're gonna see what I do is I apply Syracuse all over my face, which is the darker color. Well, I would say it's the color closest to my skin tone. And I'm just taking whatever's on the rim of the bottle here, and I'm going to start patting that into my face. So I'm going to start on the lower area of my face, and I'm going to pat it all over. I'm not going to apply too much just because I'll be applying the lighter color in my highlight areas, but literally just to cover up the corrector that I just put on. So I'm just patting the product all over, and what you want to do is you want to press it into your skin rather than rub it. You don't want to rub the product off. You want it to be blended into your skin, and you want it to look like your skin. That's why I'm patting it rather than rubbing it. The brush I'm using, I forgot to mention, is the Morphe E44 brush, and it's just a dome brush like this. I love the control this brush gives me. You can use this brush for pretty much anything on your face. You can use it to blend out contour, highlight. I like using it to apply my foundation. You can totally use your beauty blender if you wanted to apply your foundation. I like doing it like this and then blending it out with a beauty blender. Just gonna hit my forehead, and when you're blending your foundation out, you want to make sure that you're blending it out into your hairline as well. The last thing I want is a little rim where you can see my natural skin color versus my foundation color. So you're making sure that you're blending it into your hairline as well. Just fixing my little elephants. They're a little twisted. Okay, so now I'm gonna apply the Stromboli. This is the lighter foundation color that I was talking about. Same way, I'm just taking whatever's on my rim here just to clean it up. And I'm gonna start applying that in my highlight zones. And this is gonna add as a really nice base for the concealer that I'm gonna apply. I'm not gonna apply the foundation under my eye because that's where I'm gonna put the concealer. I'm gonna apply it more in the lower area here. So I'm just gonna put a couple dots there. Couple dots there in the middle of my forehead, down my nose, on my chin, my cupid's bow. I'm gonna apply a little bit on my neck. And I'm again patting this color out. And this is gonna be just a very nice shade that's kind of in between my colors. I feel like both of these shades are in between colors for me, so adding them together just really makes the perfect color. And again, any of the techniques that I'm using, if you see me using 2 products rather than 1, you are not obligated to use 2 products. I just do it because, you know, me buying 1 foundation versus 2, I'm still using the same amount of product. It's just that these 2 bottles are going to last me a lot longer than rather than 1 bottle. And this is just what I like to do. I just like creating a lot of bases and layering rather than just slapping some makeup on my face and having to blend everything out and making it look cakey. That's the last thing you want, is to make your makeup look cakey. Me especially, I hate cakey makeup. Again, taking the back of my beauty blender, and I'm just, wherever I apply that lighter color and the darker color in between, I'm just blending and merging those 2 colors together so they don't look like 2, they look like 1. Okay, cool. So I just blended out those 2 colors. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some concealer. And the concealer I'm using is the Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Concealer. So it looks like this. This is another product that I've been using for so many years, and I keep coming back to it. It's such an amazing concealer. It doesn't crease as long as you set it properly. It's very hydrating, very moisturizing. I love this stuff. I use the Shape Tape as well, but I use them mainly together because I find the Shape Tape can be a little drying for me. So using these 2 together when I'm going out and I want something a little bit more dramatic, that's when I'll really use a Shape Tape. I also use a Shape Tape to prime my eyes before I put eyeshadow on. It's a really good primer as well. It's a very multi-use concealer. I know a lot of people actually use this as foundation as well, which is pretty cool. Anyway, so I'm putting the Maracuja Creaseless Concealer. I just put a little bit on my finger. A little bit of this stuff goes a long way, especially for me. I also like to sometimes pat it on the back of my hand just to warm the product up a little bit. I like warming product up just because I find that it adheres to my skin better than if the product was a little bit cooler. I feel that it kind of just sits on top of my skin rather than like blending and melting into my skin. And I'm doing one eye at a time. I'm just blending the concealer out there. I'm going to add a little bit more. And I'm going to blend again. And you're just going to bounce it on. You're not going to rub it again. You're going to bounce. Bounce, bounce. Do the other eye. And the shape that I'm doing is, I would say, an upside down triangle. So I'm hitting the sides of my nose here, and I'm just going in a little shape like that. So it's like that. Okay, so I have the Creaseless Concealer under my eyes. I'm not going to apply it in the rest of my highlight zones because I'm going to use my MAC Prep+Prime highlighter pen. And I am in the color Bright Forecast. So this is what it looks like. And basically you just use the bottom part here and you just twist up and the product comes through the little brush here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to begin to add a little bit of extra highlight to my face, so under my eyes. I'm going to run it down the bridge of my nose, forehead, chin, Cupid's bow, and a little bit on my neck as well. And again, I'm taking my dry beauty blender and I'm just blending that highlighter out. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to begin to do a little bit of a contour. And normally for my everyday foundation routine, I would just do a powder contour. But I just found a new love for the Anastasia Beverly Hills stick contour. I am in the color Mink. And what I love about this concealer the most, or sorry, I shouldn't say concealer, this is not a concealer. What I love about this stick contour the most is the color of it. So this is a cool toned brown. And when I say cool tone, I don't mean, oh my god, it's such a cool tone. I mean the tone, the undertone of the foundation is cool. It's not warm. So it's not like a reddish brown. It's more of a, I don't want to say gray either, but it's just a cooler toned brown. You're gonna see when I apply it, it's gonna look a little darker on my face than normal, but you're gonna see how it's gonna look when I blend it out and what I do to warm it up a bit. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking it straight from the tube. And the rule of thumb when you're doing any contour is you initially want to start from the top of your ear right here. And if you see when I suck my cheeks in, it goes in an angle like this. So this would be the area that I want to focus my contour on. I'm not gonna go all the way to my lip, but the intention is when I'm blending, I want to blend towards that area. So I'm just gonna apply a little line right there. I'm gonna do the same to the other side. Make sure it's even. I'm gonna apply a little bit on my forehead just because my forehead is a bit smaller and I don't want to shorten it anymore. If you have a longer forehead, you can definitely go and apply a bit more. But for my sake, I'm just gonna apply a little bit. I'm also gonna apply it on, oh, and I didn't blend out my my neck highlight. Didn't blend it. Okay, I'm gonna apply it on my jawbone, the other side as well. I'm gonna also apply some on the sides of my nose just to make it look a little bit more narrow, like that. So this is basically my map for my contour, and this is for everyday contouring. I'm not gonna go crazy just because you're gonna be wearing this every day. And you don't want it to look too dramatic for, you know, just going to work or going to school. The brush I'm gonna use to blend this contour out is the Morphe G37 brush. And this is from the Gunmetal collection from Morphe. And what I'm gonna do when I'm blending it out is first I'm gonna just lightly flick some of this color up, because when you're blending, you want your face to look lifted. When you're doing your makeup, you never want your face to look dragged down. You want it to look lifted. So that's why I'm gonna flick up. And I'm gonna stay in this area and I'm just gonna blend that color out. I'm not gonna go too close to my lip, but that's the direction that I'm aiming towards. So the top, so you can see at the top of my ear, I'm just aiming towards my lip, but I'm not necessarily touching there. You don't want it to go too low. You want it to stay a little high. So that's blended. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. I'm gonna blend out my forehead contour, and I'm gonna blend it into my hairline. And it's gonna create a really nice shadow on the perimeter of my face. You want to blend your jawbone, you want to blend it down. And just make sure you're really pushing the product into your skin. I'm gonna take my beauty blender and I'm just gonna make sure I'm pressing that product into my skin. So it's not just sitting on top of it, it's actually pressed into my skin, like that. And I'm just gonna do my jaw. And for my nose, to blend that out, I'm going to use, if I can find it, where are you, man? Oh, here it is. I'm going to use the Morphe M6 brush, so it looks like this. It looks like a little toothbrush, actually. So it looks like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start blending my nose contour out, and I'm just rubbing it up and down. I'm going to flick it down a bit. And I'm still getting used to using brushes like this. I just find it so weird the way you have to hold it like a toothbrush and you're like blending your makeup out. I'm so traditional when it comes to brushes, and I'm old school. I love trying new products out, but it takes me a bit of getting used to. I'm just gonna bring it up a little bit into the crease of my eye, so when I do my eye makeup, it'll blend in really well. And you can also use your fingers to blend out as well. If you notice that the brush is not doing the job, totally go in with your fingers. But I think that's pretty blended out and pretty good. I'm just gonna get closer to my mirror. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Okay, so I have the Mink on my face, the contour stick. Now what I'm gonna do is I wanna warm that color up a bit, but first what I wanna do is I wanna set under my eyes. And to set, I am using the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm just putting some on my cap here, or the lid I should say. Okay, I think this is enough. So I have a little bit on my lid, and I'm gonna take my beauty blender and I'm just gonna push it into the product here. And I'm gonna apply it under my eyes, just to set. And I'm just gonna continue to pat. You again, don't wanna rub, you wanna pat. I'm not baking, but I'm just gonna apply a little bit and just brush it off once I finish warming up my contour. I'm also just gonna set a little bit on my forehead, down my nose. I'm going to be using my MAC Studio Fix powder, and this is in the shade NC47. This is what it looks like. It is definitely about 3 or 4 shades darker than my skin tone. I am normally an NC42 in MAC, so this is a couple well shades darker than my skin tone. So I'm using an Morphe M437 brush, and I'm just patting it into my product. And I'm tapping off the excess. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start warming up that contour that I just added. And I just wanted to mention that when I do this in the morning, it does not take me too long. It takes me about, I would say, 15 to 20 minutes to do a full look with like a natural eye and foundation. It is going to seem longer in this video because I'm stopping and I'm explaining techniques, I'm explaining products, so it is going to seem like it's a little longer, but I promise you, once you get into the routine of doing this, it's not going to take you long at all. Just making sure that I'm blending everything out. And another technique that that I used when I was just starting off and just getting comfortable with contour and highlighting is, I think it was the Kardashians that said this, but I think it was Kim Kardashian, but the technique that she uses is she makes a number 3 with her contour. So she starts off on her forehead, she hits the first loop here, and then she hits the second loop on her her jawbone. So that's a bit of inside celebrity scoop. I'm just kidding, it's literally on YouTube, but thought I'd share that with you guys just to make things a little easier in case you're having a bit of trouble. Okay. I think that's good for now. If I notice when I'm doing the rest of my makeup that I want to add a bit more of a contour, I'll definitely do that. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna define this a bit more with a pointier brush. This is the Morphe E48 brush, and I'm just using the tip of it with a little bit of product just to define a bit of a sharper line. I'm just gonna take my Morphe E49 brush, and I'm just gonna brush off some of that translucent powder that I added. Next I'm gonna take another Studio Fix powder, and this is more in my shade. This is NC42, and I'm just gonna set any areas on my face that I haven't set yet. So I'm gonna set around just like in the middle of my contour there, just to blend it out a bit. And just because I want to add a little bit more highlight in the areas besides under my eyes, I'm gonna go in with my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm just gonna go in with the banana color and the peach color, and I'm gonna just highlight my forehead here, down the bridge of my nose a little bit. And I'm going to take more of that peach color, and I'm just going to run that under my eyes too, just because I don't want it to look chalky. I want it to brighten more. Like that. So now that I have... Okay, so now that I have my highlight and contour down, I am going to add a little bit of blush on my face. And the blush that I'm using is the blush kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I am going to use the color Terrace, which is this color here, just because it's the winter, and usually in the winter I like to go a little bit darker with my blushes. The brush that I'm using to apply my blush is, where is it? Right here. It's the Morphe B47 brush. This is not the best blush brush that I have, but it's gonna work. So this is what it looks like. It's just a little dome brush like that. I'm just gonna apply a little bit of blush. A little bit of this stuff goes a long way, and I don't like to apply too much blush. What I like to do to find where to apply my blush is I like to smile, and this would be your apple of the cheek. So this is where you want to apply the product, and then you want to bring it up. So smile, apply, and blend up. Like that. See how a little bit of this stuff, like how much it comes on to my face? I'm going to tap, smile, and blend up. And I'm actually going to do just a quick check, just to make sure that everything is blended properly. I'm going to zoom you guys out so you can see what I did. So I am not going to touch my eyebrows or my eyes in this video, just because I'm going to be literally doing my eyes right now, but I'm going to be uploading it in a separate video for you guys, because I didn't want each video to be so lengthy. And if I get into an everyday eye look and I start doing my transformations of that eye look, the video is just going to get too long, and I don't want that for you guys. I want you guys to learn how I did my foundation first, and so you guys can practice how to do your foundation, and then you can watch the video where I do an everyday eye look, and then you can learn step by step how to do that. I will also link the eye look, the everyday eye look down in the description below, so you guys can just click on that and you guys can get to that video. And I'll do the same with the eye look, so if you guys want to refer back to the foundation, my foundation routine, I'll link it down in that video and you guys can see that as well. But for now, oh, actually, another step that I wanted to show you guys is just a little highlight to add a little bit of a glow onto your face. And the highlight I'm using is the Becca highlighter, and this is in the color Opal, and it's just a little guy right here. It's a little small product. I love buying smaller products because one, it's cheaper. Two, I don't always end up using all of my products. I always buy new products and I'll use it once or twice, and then I'll find a new product and I'll fall in love with that product and I'll want to use that again. So I love buying like the smaller travel products rather than the full size, because I still find that it gives a lot of product in here. I think it's a good bang for your buck. So that's another tip that I do, is I'll buy smaller products just because I just have so many different products and I like to use different things. So yeah, anyways, I'm taking that highlighter on the Morphe E49 brush. It looks like that. And I'm gonna apply that highlight under my eye hair, and you can see instantly what it did. It just added a really nice glow. And I'm gonna do the same thing here, and I'm gonna bring it up to my temple a bit. Pretty much my everyday foundation routine. This is what I do. It does not take me this long, I promise you guys. My foundation literally takes me less than 10 minutes. It's just that it's gonna seem longer in this video because I'm explaining everything to you. But again, practice makes perfect. Remember to blend your products out. Remember to blend it out into your hairline. Even when you're doing your contour, you know, just remember that you don't want it to look too prominent on your face. You want everything to look like one, everything to look merged. You want your face to look three-dimensional rather than flat. So that's why we do our highlight and contouring. But yeah, I think we're done with my everyday face foundation routine. I really hope that this video was informative enough for you guys. I hope I went into good detail as to what products to use and the techniques that I use. I hope this video is not too long. That's like my biggest concern, is making these videos too long for you guys. But yeah, if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys want to see in my future videos. If there's any eye looks or any palettes that you want me to use, I'm always willing to invest in palettes and products to test them out for you guys. But yeah, please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it if you guys want to see more videos. The more subscribers I get, the more videos I can do. And thank you so much, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.